Konnichiwa, Dan here. It's Wednesday. I don't even know what the date is. It's like the 16th. Today's my last day here, so this is my last video from Japan. Kind of bummed. It's been an awesome experience. I've loved almost every minute of it. There's been a couple of days that I've been frustrated or annoyed or something, but that's just life. But it's been an awesome time. Excuse me. So I had my last few observations of things that I've seen while I've been here. There's other things I know that I've seen or thought of, but I either forget or don't remember, which are the same thing. So we'll start off with the first one. The Japanese people sleep everywhere. I mean, it's not localized to bedrooms or beds or couches or comfortable spots. They fall asleep, I mean, standing up in the train, the homestay family, they'll, like, usually you start falling asleep and you might fall asleep and maybe your dad will wake you up and you'll go into your room and lay down to go to bed. They just crash wherever they're at. The daughter, she sleeps on the floor downstairs in the family room, like, half the time, just crashes underneath the table. So while I'm kind of on that subject of the table, I was going to show you guys this, but I never got the chance to. So this is the like Japanese style table where there's the blanket with the tabletop. If you can see it, with the blanket and then the tabletop, and then underneath there's a heater. So you can turn it on and put your legs under the blanket and then do whatever you want on top of the table. They play card games or do homework or look at the computer or whatever, and then keep their legs warm under the table. I thought that was kind of a little ingenious idea, so that was kind of cool. But the daughter winds up sleeping under that half the time downstairs, and there's been a couple of times where I've woken up in the morning and the whole family they'll be just coming out from the couch or somewhere, and that's where they slept last night. So they just crash everywhere. The bus, the train, standing up. I've seen on park benches, just random places. And they're so busy half the time that I think they just sleep wherever they can. The other thing. So I don't know if I mentioned that last thing before. I might have, but this I'm pretty sure I haven't. When we sneeze in most European countries, we say like "God bless you" or something like that. I think the origin was like they thought that your spirit escaped or something, and it was to keep bad spirits away or to put your spirit back inside you or something, to say "God bless you" and then your spirit would return. I don't know, something like that. But in Japan, there's nothing. You don't say anything when people sneeze. It's not like "God bless you" or "excuse me" or "pardon me" or anything like that. If you sneeze or somebody sneezes and you say something to them, you don't say anything, and you don't say anything to somebody. I thought that was kind of weird. Sometimes they'll ask you, "Are you okay?" Like, "Are you sick?" But that's about it. So I thought that was kind of neat. Most days, I have walked by, just going down the street, or if I'm traveling somewhere, I have smelt some of the most interesting things. There have been times where I swear it smelled like fish, and then other times where it was the exact same smell and it smelled like crap, like literally crap, or things that I couldn't even pinpoint as to what it was. Just, it was something, and it smelt interesting. Not like it was food, or it could have been delicious, or it just random smells. It's been really interesting. I think the smells has been the most, not the most foreign thing. There's been pretty foreign things that I've seen here. So the smells are kind of interesting. And so the other thing, I'm a fairly tall guy, and I'm kind of broad. I'm like 6 foot, and I most of the time I'm at least my head is over everybody. Every now and then there's a tall person, but I mean everyone else is pretty much below my shoulders. And the last couple of weeks I've really noticed There is such a thing as a little old man or a little old woman. Like kind of like elderly people. I mean, they come up to like my waist. It's bizarre walking next to them or standing next to them waiting for the train, and like they've got their cane and they're all kind of standing there hobbling, not hobbling, but you know how with the cane. I don't know how to describe it. And you just look, you have to look down because they're down. So that's kind of interesting. So little old lady, little old man, really rang a bell with me, with seeing some of those people. And man, this last weekend, especially because I was kind of like in the downtown area of this I don't remember what the town name was, where I did the sumo stuff. But then especially there, and then in Tokyo, and especially on the weekends where I'd see like couples going out for dinner. It's like the standard for girls to dress like a hooker, and I do mean like a hooker, with like the fishnet stockings and like the really short shorts or short skirts, and then like stripper heels, and but they don't really like show cleavage or anything like that. It was just kind of weird. Like that's the style, and I don't think hookers actually dress like that here. But that's just the style. So I thought that was kind of weird. But then at the same time, the general style and fashion for a lot of the girls, I really, aside from the hooker style, they've got really cool clothes. And I'm not into clothes or anything like that, but they have these awesome shoes. And everyone has different shoes, and there are all these different styles, and I wouldn't even know where to begin, or what to say about it. But they had just cool. They've got a very good fashion sense. Some of the guys' fashion, on the other hand, is a little weird. To me, it's just kind of like mixing and matching. Oh, I'll take some stripes and plaid and add that with leather and a cattail. Just random crap. And I love the shirts. The shirts are fantastic because, like, there's been a couple of times where I've really wanted to go buy clothes. Because I'm like, oh, I think that shirt looks really cool, and then I go read it, because most of the shirts are all English. So you go read it, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's just absurd, random words strung together. Oh, I saw one guy wearing a shirt that the future is made from a river of tears, but in a very English style, where like. Tears of rivers are made for the future, and I was like, "What?" Yeah, just weird the way the words are put together, and just what it says. So I haven't bought any clothes because if I wore it in America, I would be an idiot. Or everyone would think I was an idiot because it just makes no sense. But here, if I was going to stay for longer, I'd buy some of the clothes because they actually look really cool. So I just thought that was kind of funny. So those are my last few observations. This last weekend with the sumo was awesome. Those guys are massive. I could not believe how big they were. Their legs, some of these guys' legs, were as big as my torso. Massive. I mean, they were just gigantic. And they slam into each other. I mean, it's like just full force, full contact, and then they like slap each other in like the chest and face, full palm. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And then when they fall down, it's not like, oh, it's a carpet. No, they fall down on like this clay concrete style ground. And it looks like they're kind of just falling and rolling down this little like platform thing, but they're falling hard. So I was really impressed by the sumo match. And then I just kind of wandered. When I came back, my Kobe steak was delicious, and I had a good time. And I have other videos. I'll try and post them before this video, but I don't know if I'll get to it or not. I have a bunch of packing to do tonight. So my last few things I want to talk about is the things I'm going to miss. The things that I've really come to like here. First thing, public transit. I was never big on trains or buses or anything like that. Always thought cars were so much more convenient, and they were better. But man, here in Japan, it is like one of the best ways to travel. You don't have to worry about driving. You can just relax for however long you're going to be traveling. If you have to change trains, they're always easy. Most of the times I can't read, but they're they're easy enough to where you can actually change trains and do everything you need to, and everyone's helpful enough to where you can ask them where to go and they'll tell you where you need to go. So I'm going to really miss a public transit. I would love to have something like that in the U.S., but I think in the U.S. everything's so spread out, it'd be a really difficult challenge to achieve. So one of the other things I'm going to miss is the tiny skirts. I'm totally being a guy right now, but it's cold right now. It's full swing fall. I'm wearing a sweatshirt plus like 3 layers, and I'm cold most of the time. But there's these like little tiny skinny girls that are wearing skirts every day. I always see them. Every day there's some girl wearing skirts, and they're not. I rarely see a fat person, let alone a hefty or like overweight person. So everyone's very thin. But then at the same time, I'm not like big on Asians. There are cute ones, and then there are not so cute ones. But I'm gonna miss the skirts. I'm actually gonna miss riding my bike to school every day. I enjoyed it. It kind of wakes you up in the morning. I think I'm going to kind of continue that when I get back and try and ride my bike to work every day. But it gets cold and windy. It gets really windy where I live, so I'll see if I can continue that tradition. The beautiful scenery. Even though like there's so many big cities, the scenery is still just beautiful. You could be in the middle of the city, and then 2 blocks away, there's this huge river or a park or an onsen or a temple or something that is just beautiful. And then the trees, it's really gorgeous here, and especially the last couple of weeks with all the traveling that I've done. From going to like the north end of Japan all the way down to the south end, I've seen a lot of the countryside from the train, and the hills and the trees and the valleys and the fall colors. Everything's been just gorgeous, and I'm gonna miss the scenery. Just being able to see it, just traveling or down the street. So that's gonna be kind of a bummer. So, the other thing I'm gonna miss is there's stuff to do everywhere. Everyone says that the town that I'm living in right now is just like this little tiny town where there's nothing to do. But there's if you want to do karaoke in the middle of the week, you could go do karaoke, and karaoke is actually a lot of fun. I suck at it, but it's a lot of fun. There's the mall. There's all kinds of little restaurants, and then when I've been to the bigger cities, there's just on the weekend you could just start walking and you'll run into something, whether it's a festival or a show or something. There seems to be something always going on, and I'm gonna miss that fact of not being able to just kind of walk out my door and spontaneously and go find something to do. The mom and pop food stalls. The like izakaya, they're called izakayas. They're like little small restaurant bars, and they're everywhere, and they're delicious, and there's so much. They're kind of fun. They're like pubs almost, but they're Japanese style pubs. And they're a lot of fun. And the last thing, onsen. They are fantastic. I wish we had them. I mean, you can take a bath, but they're nothing compared to an onsen. And I've gotten really comfortable with myself and being naked around other men, because it's a large pool with a bunch of other men that are all naked. Yep, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and not looking forward to going home, but at the same time, looking forward to it. But maybe I'll try and make some more videos of some of the Japanese that I've learned and do some instruction videos. And I'll see you guys soon. All right.